First thoughts on the game as a whole?
It was a good game. It allows the opportunity to add another 70 minutes. It's important that all the players are healthy too. And against a very good opponent, man. Very good team that they're possession oriented. They try to play through lines. They move you from side to side. So at moments we felt uncomfortable. So it's good. It's good to have those preseason games where at times you feel uncomfortable and you're demanded and you have to stick together. And it was good. A lot more positives than things that I think are negative, but still a lot of work to do in the next 2 weeks before we go to Charleston.
Obviously, with all the emotions of the first half, what do you think it says about the boys that they came back out, ultimately held on to a draw in that game?
It was good, Owen. Obviously, listen, at the end of the day, when there's problems and stuff, that's never good. It wasn't really a problem. It was just emotions got very high. And if you ask me, for us, it was a perfect preseason game because we played an opponent that it was tough. We got the opportunity to push the fitness levels in the altitude again for 70 plus minutes. Tactically, we were able to do the things that we wanted to do. And then there was that, like you said, the emotional aspect of the game that it demanded the boys to stick together and then also stay focused and concentrated through a moment that it could be a bit turbulent. So if you ask me, today it was a great test for us, and I think we passed it with good grades.
What do you think of Cuellar's performance in the midfield?
Emil has done a very good job this whole preseason, not just today. Ups and downs. I think after a weekend in the altitude and adding minutes, I think he's one of the players that have added the most minutes for us in preseason. Some of the players look a little bit tired today. I've noticed that. But Emil has been good. He's a true number 10. He understands how to float in between lines. Him and Fede are players that are very similar to play the way we want to play. If we want to use them as 10 and exploit opponents that are going to leave gaps in between the lines, we have other 10s like Gallardo and Trejo that if we want to run behind and attack spaces can do that as well. So I'm happy. I'm happy with Emil and I'm happy with absolutely every one of our players.
And after having one game with Patrick in, one game with Rocco in, how are you looking at the battle between the goalkeepers?
It's been good. Two goalkeepers that can play out of the back, two goalkeepers that are very comfortable with the ball at their feet. It's not surprising to us. We spend hours watching both, and we're very, very lucky to have both of them. So if you ask me, every night I go to sleep, I go to sleep very, very with no problems or no issues in the goalkeeper position or in any position that we have.
What do you think of the attempts at playing at the back today?
At times it could have been better and it should have been better. Again, it's been a week. It's been a week here. It's been tough. They were pressing really high, and at times we struggle. We gave the ball away a few times in the second half, and if you ask me, I think they should have probably scored once or twice. So it has to be better. It has to be better, but also it allows us the opportunity to fix scenarios, right? It's I think versus Sporting we were very clean playing out of the back. The other game on Wednesday, we were also doing a very good job. But this team that high presses and send a lot of numbers, at times we struggle a bit. But listen, at the end of the day, when we start finding out where the spaces are, if a team is going to high press us like that, we can break a line of press and then attack a space behind, just like we did on Wednesday. And when we started doing it in the second half, we really, really hurt them. So it's what I was telling you. Today's a test, right? And you're going to sit down and when we train, we're studying for this type of test. Now you have to come out and you have to execute. Now the players need to give you answers, right? And solutions to whatever it is it's on the field. And today there were high pressing moments. And when we spoke about it at half, in the second half, I think at times when we broke that line of press, we were decent. I think we should have been better keeping possession in the opponent half as well, especially in the altitude, man. It's been brutal for these guys for a week.
Do you think it's been an overall success of the trip?
Absolutely, 100%. I was telling the guys the other day, if we can do this next year again, we will definitely do it. We're trying to build a good relationship between clubs. We're trying to make sure that they're going to come visit us as well. So we're gonna host them at some point on the year, or at some point, within 1 or 2 years. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to build bridges, to build good relationships with clubs, with organizations, that at the end of the day we can both help each other out.